Hey folks, welcome to Economic Observations. My name is Chris. Today is the 29th of May, a cold and rainy, raw Saturday, Memorial Day weekend here in Massachusetts. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate you. Today we're going to talk about inequality. Yes, folks, economic inequality. And there is a lot that goes on with this, and no one else is talking about it. So first things first, as the country reopens, more and more employers are going to ask their employees to come back to work. And they are having some resistance from the workers who don't want to come back to the office. And many of them are saying, well, I am much more productive at home and I don't need to come back to the office. It's like deja vu from 5 or 6 months ago when the teachers all said, wait a second, we don't feel safe going into this classroom. It's working. We can teach remotely. And this was still before they were vaccinated, and we knew that it was not necessarily a safe place to be, and they lost. So I think the majority of teachers around the country were forced back into the classroom full time. They did have some students in person. Some kids could choose to be hybrid, but teachers did not have the luxury of telling their boss, sorry, I'm going to teach remotely. And I think the same thing is going to happen with the workforce. If you were working remotely before the pandemic, I don't think you would have a problem with this, but I think many people are going to be called back. I think it's going to be a slow process and maybe a hybrid one at that to start, but eventually, if the numbers trend downward and COVID is still under control, that people will go into the office. And folks, here's why. We need you to go back to the office. America needs you to go back to the office. We need you to spend your money. For every person that goes back into the office and commutes to work and pays for parking or a bus or a train or buys a coffee or buys lunch or buys a new pair of pants and some shoes, you are helping others be employed. If you continue to work from home and save all your money, America's never going to recover. That is the fact, right? Municipalities all across the country need you to get back on your train or bus or boat or in your car and go back to the city. Cities need you. It's not about whether you're productive or not. It's about whether you're contributing to the economy as you should be. Americans who have had the privilege of working from home all throughout this pandemic have saved hundreds of thousands of dollars, not only on all those costs I just mentioned, but many of them have saved on child care, after school programs, and many other things. And now they have to go back to work because the world needs them. Right? The world needs you to go out and buy your salad or your sandwich for lunch from the shop down the street from your office. They need you to buy coffee at the little shop in the lobby of your building. The train stations need you to park in them. The trains and buses need you to ride them. If you don't, they may never be there again. And America needs them because not everyone has a car. Also, if you don't go back into the office, people are never going to get jobs. I believe that those jobs that are going unfulfilled aren't going unfulfilled because people don't want to work. People want the same opportunity as those working from home do. Many people who are looking for a job are looking for a remote position now because there's so many of them. So many people are working from home. And why shouldn't they want the same thing? They want to be able to save on childcare. They want to be able to save on commuting time. It's the same people that work from home that wanted their kids back in school, that wanted teachers to go back to school, that were fed up with people. My kids need to go to school, and yet you can stay home. It's inequity, folks. Everything is uneven around here. We need to have grace, and we need to have empathy, and we need to put ourselves in other people's shoes. But those parking garages will close indefinitely. And when cities do reopen, there'll be nowhere to park. And when jobs are no longer remote, people are going to need the buses and the trains more than ever, and they won't function. This is what's going to end society. It's not about how much money those can save while they're working from home. It's about how much they can contribute in the smallest little ways, just like a commute to the office. People don't want to do the service jobs anymore. They want the luxury of being able to sit at home and get as much done and be productive as everyone else who says they are. We're in a really strange time, folks. We also have many industries that haven't come back and that won't fully come back for a long time. Go to Nashville, Tennessee, and the live music scene there is what was bumping. It was thriving, and it employed thousands of people. And it wasn't just the musicians and the venues and maybe a bartender. It was the roadies and the lighting and the sound and the video and everything else that goes along with it. All those people, their jobs have not come back and are not coming back anytime soon. These are people who made careers out of it. In the Boston area and Massachusetts, we are known for conferences. We have tens of thousands of people come to Boston every single day for some sort of conference. We have medical conference and biotech conference and pharmaceutical conferences and women's conferences and teacher conferences, and you name it, we have it. As a matter of fact, it was a biotech conference that our first cases of COVID were identified at. But folks, without conferences, Massachusetts won't fully recover. It takes months to plan a conference. Just because Charlie Baker opens up the state today doesn't mean that conferences are going to begin today. Sure, restaurants can open right now, but a conference or a concert or a live event, it takes months to plan. And we don't even know what the future is going to hold. They're saying we're going to have a good summer, but we have to be careful in the fall. We still don't know. But conferences are the last to recover, the last to face recovery. And those people are going to need the government programs more than ever not to end. And how do you manage that? How does the government manage industries and people who work for them that haven't recovered and will take years to recover? What kind of programs are going to be out there for these people? I get it. Yeah, some people are earning the $300 that don't want to go back to work because, they're making more money on unemployment. There are very few of those people. But there are people who want a remote position. And there are people who want their careers back. And will do anything to have their careers back. They will go into the conferences. They'll travel all over the country to make sure they go off without a hitch. We're in very strange times, but right now the inequity in the economy is very blatant. And as more and more businesses ask employees to go back to work, they shouldn't be hit with hesitancy. They should go back with enthusiasm, knowing that they're helping their fellow American. All right, anyway, folks, that's all I got today. I just thought I'd share what's on my mind. As always, I appreciate you. And I'll talk to you real soon. And don't forget, have some grace. Have a great day.